Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Ever17, the Out of Infinity. Last time, things became a bit intimate with you and the kid, which I thought they might go there. And a bit awkward about it now, the day after. Well, not. Well, that made it sound too intimate. The kiss. Yeah, I think. Pretty sure. But anyway, and then there was a big argument with Sora and Tsugumi, like last time, where Tsugumi was trying to convince Sora that there was something down below, and Sora wouldn't cooperate. So that happened just like last time. Pretty close to it anyway. So yeah, I believe that's the main points. So let's hop right into this. Excuse me. Both Sarah and Sora's expressions tensed. You too, Tsugumi?
Huh?
It's weird, but everyone seems to be feeling ill today. So that you might be feeling bad too.
私は違うわ。私はただ様子を見に来ただけ。妙といえば、彼頭おかしくなったんじゃないの？
That guy.
もしかしてたけしのこと？
So I would assume. Tsugumi nodded.
かなり挙動不審だったわよ。目を血走らせながら避難用通路に入っていったけど、なんだか鼻息も荒かったわね。
Huh? He seemed in a bad mood, but was he that out of it?
元からそうだったけど、頭をやられちゃったのかもね。ん？鼻息が荒い？まさかとは思うけど。クラナルさんでしたら、ちょっと待ってくださいね。今ちょうど更衣室の上の通路に。ねえ、ちょっと様子見に行った方がよくない？
I think you're right. Sarah and I hurried out of the room.
あ、皆さん、更衣室の中には。
The two of us sprinted to the changing room. We arrived in front of it. Oh, great. There we heard you give an ear-splitting scream. I didn't believe it. It couldn't be. Damn that Takashi. The door was shut. We thought it might be locked from the inside. I knew it wouldn't work, but I was going to try to kick open the door. But Sarah stopped me. Sarah went to work on the 10 key next to the door. As soon as she had a code for emergencies like this, the door opened up. I immediately burst into the room. Hey, Takashi! Eh? You was alone in the room. She had already finished changing. What? The magazine you had thrown at me hit me full on in the face. I felt a piercing pain in my nose.
先輩、無事ですか？何のこと？
And now she notices Sarah there. So that's one of the funny things about you. She acts violently first and asks questions later.
だってたけしがクラナリがどうしたって？
Takashi wasn't anywhere in the room. Come to mention it, there were no emergency exits in the room at all. There's no way for him to enter in from an emergency corridor. What about that scream just a minute ago? What was that? I rubbed my nose as I said this. You took the collar of her jacket and showed it to her. There did seem to be a little black stain. Oh, good grief. Wow. She better not go to any sporting events because they get stains on their clothes all the time. She'd be shattering everybody's eardrums. You screamed because of that?
うん、そうだよ。だってこの服お気に入りだったんだもん。
You don't just freak out like that, and if you're done changing, why'd you throw that at me?
何言ってんの。女の子が着替えてるかもしれない部屋に無断で入る方が悪いんだよ。
I looked again at the magazine you had thrown at me. On the cover of the magazine was a glossy picture of a screw and a screwdriver. There's a copy of Monthly Toolbox magazine. What is something like that doing in the girls' changing room? Something red dripped on the floor. I had a nosebleed.
やだ、何鼻血なんて出してんのよ。君って正真正銘の新生純情少年くんなんだね。
It's because he threw this magazine at me. I plugged my nose with tissues handed to me by Sarah as I fumbled for an explanation.
まさかそのネジを見て。いやそんなの嫌すぎる。
That's not it.
はあ、それにしても心配して損した。
I don't quite get it myself.
まあいいや。
With that, Sarah left the room. What, are you leaving?
うん、私用事あるからさ。
Things?
いろいろとね、清算しとかなきゃいけないことが残ってるの。
I thought that I detected a gleam of determination in Sarah's eyes.
あとよろしく。
Sarah waved to me as she left. But an instant later, she had poked her face back in the room.
あ、そうそう、お二人とも。ごゆっくり。
This time she didn't come back. You and I sat on the bench in the changing room, facing opposite directions. Finally, the two of us were alone. It was a situation I'd been trying to avoid. I fidgeted as I thought of the touch of her lips the day before. I wondered why we had stayed there. It was because you didn't try to go anywhere. I think she had that pretty well planned beforehand, kid. With what Sarah had said, I couldn't just say, see you, and leave. If I did that, she'd be able to tell that I was still hung up on the day before. I tried not to think about it. But the more I tried not to think about it, the more I did. There's a part of me that knew all of this and pretended I wasn't thinking about it and acted like I was actually thinking about it. But then doing that actually did make me think about it. Kid, you're overthinking things. Shut up. So I tried to pretend not to think about it, as I was pretending to think about it. My gosh, kid, am I gonna have to punch you again, make you have a nosebleed again? Then I realized it was all meaningless. The more I thought about it, the more confused I got. I sat down next to you and stared at the ceiling. Oh, that's right, the silence is bad. I better break it somehow. I thought I would try to say something and calm myself down. Those clothes really suit you.
Huh?
No, why did they change? Fortunately, my mind was still in a state of confusion and wouldn't follow orders.
そうね。いわゆる一つの決意表明かな。
Huh?
着替えた理由。聞いたのは君でしょ。
Oh yeah.
レミューのユニフォームを脱ぎ捨てて私の日常に即した服を身につける。レミューでの私さよならって意味と、日常の私こんにちはって意味を込めて。
You worked there for like 3 days. That's kind of out there for just working there 3 days.
私は何が何でもここを脱出して普段の生活に戻るの。そういう決意表明。
So that's one. This again. At this rate, I figured the conversation was sure to fizzle out. I mean, it hasn't? I need something to talk about. Oh, great. I don't know. She was just talking about how she wanted to say goodbye to her LeMU self. Which, it all seem like they could drag up memories that could be bad. You know what? Let's randomize it. Actually, we're not going to randomize it. Let's just go with her past. Oh, that reminds me. I want to talk to you about your father. Yeah, maybe that wasn't a smart idea.
その話はもうやめようって言ったでしょ。
Oh yeah.
悪いんだけど、そういった話は今日はやめよう。だから今日はそういうつもりでここへ誘ったんじゃないの。君と一緒にいるとなんだか落ち着くの。だから。
So I remembered and vividly relived the feeling of her lips touching the night before. I was totally regretting that I brought up this topic.
そういえばさ。
Oh, was I supposed to mention something that hadn't been mentioned the night before, which would be Memoria, I guess? Well, they probably would have. I guess that would be the one most likely not to. Yeah.
第三視点って概念の本当の意味教えてなかったよね。
No. I say I'll tell you next time.
そうだったね。よし。
Okay, maybe that was what I was supposed to mention
お姉さんの
then.
手取り足取り教えてあげよう。
Really? Well, you can skip the boring stuff. You stood up and turned to face me.
では、ナッキュ先生の第三視点講座を始めるとします。
I clap for her half-heartedly.
当たり前の話だけど、人間は2つの視点を持ってるよね。
Yeah?
一つは右目、もう一つは左目。
For those people who do have two eyes, there are, you can't have accidents and stuff. You winked with one eye and then the other.
この2つの視点によって人間は立体を認識することができるの。もしも仮に片方の視力を失ってしまったとしたら、不可能とまでは言い切れないけど、立体を認識することは極めて困難になる。ちょっと片目をつぶってみて。
I closed my right eye as she said this.
そうして見える世界は基本的には平面としての情報だけによって構成されてるでしょ。もちろん焦点、ピントを合わせたり眼球を動かしたりすることによって物体の立体感を把握することができないわけじゃないけど、でも両目を使ってる時に比べれば立体としての認識度っていうのかな、そういうのは著しく低下してるはず。
I can agree with that. I have stigmatism in my right eye. Yeah. And it's pretty weak. even with my glasses on, so yeah, I find myself failing to gauge depth perception every now and then.
言ってることわかる？
That and it was weak because it used to be lazy and pointing out to the side, so it was weak because I always focused my left eye, so not relevant, but kinda sort of relevant.
じゃあ余分なことは抜きにして言うけど、つまりこういうこと。人間が片方の目だけから入手できる情報は平面二次元としての情報だけなのである。要するに写真と同じなのよ。1枚の風景写真を見た時、手前に林があって奥に湖があって、そのまたずっと向こうに山脈があってというような遠近感を確かに知覚することはできる。でもその写真はあくまでも二次元じゃない？平面上に現像しただけだよね。というわけで写真というのは3次元の映像を二次元的に再現したものだってことが分かってもらえたと思うんだけど、まだわからない？
I don't get it, and my left eye is tired. Did he left his eye closed? One of his eyes closed the whole time?
しょうがないな。じゃあ今度は左目を閉じて。こら、両目つぶってどうすんのよ。
I held the eyelid of my left eye shut with my left hand as I opened my right eye.
そうそう。そしたらちょっと軽く実験でもしてみようか。
Experiment? Nodding, you took a marker out of her pocket. She took the cap off and handed the marker to me. So, what do I do?
私が持ってるこのキャップにサインペンをはめてみて。
You turned the cap sideways and held it in front of me. So you want me to put the tip of this and... Alright folks, sorry about that. Technical difficulties there. For some reason, the recording stopped. I don't know what happened. It completely didn't have anything to do with me having a bout of uncontrollable laughter over something, so... Yeah, it had nothing to do with that. It was technical issues with the computer or something. So you want me to put the tip of this in that hole of yours?
早く入れて。
You want me to put it in?
うん。
I took the shiny black pen, lifted it toward the little cap that you held, trying to put it in. Huh? That's weird. I can't find the hole. The slightly slippery tip wouldn't slip into the hole. I tried again and again, but it wouldn't go where you wanted it to go. It should be easier than this. You would think it would be, kid. You would think. I also wish you would use the phrase marker more, please.
もうだらしないな。
Yes, he is. He's very bad at it. Well, what do you expect me to do? It's my first time doing this. I mean, how many people try to really get a marker in the cap without only using one eye? You know, it's always important to be careful about that sort of thing, otherwise you'll stab the other person. And it'll hurt. Like he just did. So, sorry.
どこに刺してんのよ。そこじゃないでしょ。
Obviously it is.
もうちょっと手前。
Here?
違う違う。もっと奥。そう、そこに入れて。早く。
Click. I got it! Finally! It's the end! Yay! We can hopefully move on.
すごいすごい、こんなの初めて。あふんで、あるからして。
Good. There's people who need to know how that works.
一つの視点だけでは立体を認識することがいかに難しいことなのかご理解いただけたと思うのですが。
Yeah, I suppose you're right. You can always... It's funny how things can look different if you think of it from another perspective. So...
まとめるとこういうこと。一つの視点から得られる情報は平面二次元的な情報だけ。立体三次元的な情報を獲得するためにはその視点が最低でも2つ以上は必要なの。つまり右目と左目、この2つの視点を使わない限り私たちは瞬間的に3次元を認識することはできないのよ。
Yes, sometimes it does help to, or hurt to think of things from different perspectives.
まだわからないかな。
I see what you're saying, but what does this have to do with the third eye?
どんな関係も何もないって。もうほとんど説明し尽くしちゃってるんだから。だったら逆にこっちから質問するけど、一つの視点から得られる情報は
You said two-dimensional information, right?
次に二つの視点から得られる情報は
I think you said three-dimensional
で
information.
は三つの視点から得られる情報は
Four-dimensional information, maybe. Huh? The fourth dimension! You nodded slowly, listening to me. So the fourth dimension was... Wait, what was the dimension anyway? You took a notebook out of her locker and started illustrating her points and diagrams using the familiar pen. Zero dimension, a world made of points. With zero dimensions, there is no mass nor area. It is depicted using coordinates. Or you might call it nothingness or even zero. One dimension. This is an extension of the point. It is a straight line. In other words, a cross-section of a straight line is a point. One way of indicating this is through length. Huh. You just giving him this this explanation this time around. That's interesting. This is two-dimension. This is an extension of the straight line. This is a flat world. In other words, a cross-section of a plane or a flat world is a straight line. This is indicated using two concepts, length and width. Three-dimension. This is an extension of the flat world. It is the three-dimensional world. In other words, a cross-section of the solid world is a plane or flat surface. This is depicted using three concepts, length, width, and height. This isn't the most precise way of putting it, but you can think of three dimensions as an area in space composed of length, width, and height. By depicting length, width, and height on x, y, and z axis, one axis adds a vertical element to the other two, and the fourth dimension adds a t-axis or time to these three and become four dimensions. It's no longer just space, it's also called space-time. One of the x, y, z, and t-axis adds a vertical element crossing perpendicularly to the other three. Four dimension. This is an extension of three dimensions, a world of space and time. In other words, a cross-section of space-time is three dimensions. Four dimensions are depicted using four concepts, length, width, height, and time. So basically, if you're able to gain the third eye, then you have enough information to experience four dimensions.
そう、空間プラス時間。私たちが2つの眼球を使って 目の前の広がった空間の映像を一瞬にして理解できるように。
So with three perspectives, we can also be aware of the cross-cutting element of time.
そういうことである。
You put the cap on the pen. Feel like I kinda understand.
何が？
My premonitions. I didn't travel through time.
第三視点を獲得したんとはだから未来のことがわかるんとはなんてバカバカしいこと言い出さないよね。
Oh, okay, I was fixing to say. You don't think so?
だって全然説得力ないもん。どうして少年はいきなり第三視点を開眼することになったの？その理由は？方法は？
I'll bet if I get my memory back, then I'll.
またすぐそうやって記憶喪失のせいにするっていうかさ、そもそもその記憶喪失の原因を探ってるんじゃなかったの？記憶喪失と第三視点とにどんな関係があるわけ？それから少年が見たって言ってたあの幻の女の子のことは？まったくもう短絡的っていうか浅はかっていうか幼稚っていうか。
But your mom believed in it, right?
その話はやめて。
Looks like that's kind of a low blow right there.
もう過去のことは考えたくないの。さっきもそう言ったでしょ。
But do you like things the way they are? You don't care if you never find out who your mom and dad were for the rest of your life?
やめて。
You had covered both of her ears in denial. I wanted to know about my past. I still hope to find it out. But I don't have my memory nor any clue to go by, so... You have your memory, right? So that means that you have something that I don't have. You have a clue. And more than that, you were able to get information from LeMU. So how come you still don't want to think about it? I thought you came to LeMU because you wanted to find out about the truth. Why'd you change your mind? Did something make you change? Why are you denying your past? Isn't that the same as denying yourself? With your own two eyes. Why don't you try to face the truth directly? You! I grabbed you's arms and pulled them away from her ears. Answer me, why? Why do you want to give up when you were almost there? Why throw away everything that you have worked so hard for? I shouted at her. Because I couldn't believe what she was doing. It was something that she would be hard-pressed to find in her wildest dreams. And just as she was about to attain it, she had suddenly changed her mind. I was nowhere near reaching my dream. Use was almost within her reach. So I felt terribly, terribly disappointed. I don't get it. What you've longed to know is right in front of you, and I was so jealous and so happy for you. Why?
怖くなったの。
Huh?
真実を知るのが怖くなったのよ。
I was fixing to say, I mean, it's no good to hide from the truth, but sometimes the truth is hard. So, kid might, he ever finds out whatever it is, you know, he might not be happy about it. So, yeah.
考えてみてよ。今まで正しいと信じてたものが全部嘘だって分かったのよ。全部作り物だったのよ。ねえ、こんなことってある？それって普通のことなの？私には信じられない。もう何もかもが信じられない。知らなかったの。真実がこ なにも苦しいものだったなんて。
You put her hand on her chest.
痛いの。心が痛いの。真実に近づくたび心がツタツタに傷ついていくの。私にはもう耐えられないんだよ。知りたくない。本当のことなんて聞きたくない。
At that sound and shaking, we looked up in surprise. The next instant, warning alarms started shrieking. All around me, the squeal of straining metal echoed from the structure. The shaking continued on and off. What?
まさか
Could implosion already have started? It's 5:45 p.m. The estimated time of implosion was 4:30 p.m. May the 7th. But given the 12-hour margin of error, I thought it could well be the implosion. We burst out of the room. Well, I'm definitely curious what's happening. Seems like I remember something. Did something happen at a comparable time last time, or? Seemed like something had happened right before that party they had. But I'm having trouble remembering. But I'm going to go ahead and call it quits here. We're going to have to find out what happens next time. I apologize for the technical difficulties towards the middle of this episode. I'm going to have to see if it was just a game. It might have just been a game. I'm going to have to see if other people have had similar technical difficulties in that part. I'm sure the audio was completely out of sync. Might be me repeating, or the music not being in sync. You know, like I had to pause it a few times. But anyway, I do hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall return for the next one. Farewell.